Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, hopefully we get one of those banger of a calls this season. Welcome everyone to episode 301 of the Dream Wager. Happy September the 2nd, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock. And joining me, I think we're both a little under the weather. Kid, Elvis, how you doing?
Dude, I'm doing all right. Could be better, but under the weather just slightly. But we still here. We still rolling. Got my Jeff Gordon shirt on, so I'm feeling good, Dill. We doing all right. Could be doing better, but we doing all right.
I got my Urban Meyer shirt, baby. No better time. I know it's everyone looks at me different now because I'm an Urban Meyer fan, but they weren't saying that before. It's all recency bias because of the thing in the NFL. But we got a loaded show for you guys. We got some news to talk about. Huge baseball slate. College football is back. I got a 25 card game for you guys. And then our last two-a-days, we finally got to the end. NFC West, 49ers and the Cardinals, the best team, and then we'll talk about the worst team. But jam-packed episode for you guys. We'll start with Pete Carroll ruling out Jamal Adams and Witherspoon, the rookie from Illinois, for week one against the Rams. I don't really think they need him against the Rams, to be honest. Adams still recovering from that quad injury suffered last season. So they're just taking their time. They won't rush him back. Is it a concern for you week one?
Not really, dude. Jamal Adams, not really much a surprise just because we've seen, especially recent years, so many injuries that Jamal Adams have went down with. So to be cautious, especially with Jamal Adams, I wouldn't mind him sitting out to week 4 just so I could have him in that playoff push at the end of the season, because when the last time Jamal Adams even played past week 14? It's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
So I just hope he stays healthy. So if I'm Seattle, fuck that. Let's wait to week 4, week 5 to bring him back. Let's make sure he's 110%. Because remember, when Jamal Adams is healthy, he's a top 5, maybe top 3 safety in the NFL. So yeah. I just hope he stays healthy. So Seahawks, don't rush him back. Wait till week 4.
I agree.
And then with the rookie Witherspoon deal, this one I was kind of like, oh damn, that sucks. Drafting 5th overall, you kind of want him out there week 1, but at the end of the day, he's a rookie. It's only week 1, like you said, versus the Rams. It's not like it's like they're gonna be favored. They should take care of business and win that game. So I don't have a huge deal with the rookie missing again, Witherspoon, but Jamal Adams definitely plays safe.
Yeah, play it safe. And like you said, first 4 weeks are on the easier side. We discussed about at home against the Rams, on the road against the Lions. But other than that, home against the Panthers, and then you play the Giants at MetLife, and then you have a bye. So ease him into the season. I agree. The Witherspoon one was a little concerning just because he's a rookie and you're not starting on the best note to say. So, yeah, not concerned at all for the Seahawks. They should take care of business. Now, interesting, during the week, Mike Evans, he's in his last year of his contract. His agent, he let the Buccaneers organization know that, hey, if we don't get an extension done by September 9th, the start of the season, we won't talk until after the season. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like he wants to leave. He said he wants to end his career in Tampa Bay. He loves it there. But are you surprised they're not a little more urgent in getting this deal done?
At the end of the day, Mike Evans, one of the greatest to do in our generation. So they just give him
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, let's just give him his flowers from the back deal. But he is getting into his, back end of his career. If I'm Tampa, do I want to, ready him up for 4 more years at, 80, 70, $90 million around there? Don't get me wrong, it wouldn't be a bad signing deal because I still think Mike Evans still have enough in the tank. But maybe Tampa's looking at it like, we paid a bunch of players, after the Super Bowl run. We don't have a lot of cap space. As of right now, I think we got to hit a rebuilding stage instead of trying to keep these Pro Bowlers and paying them all this money. So maybe they're trying to look at it like, maybe we trade him for a draft pick and then we start rebuilding. Because at the end that makes more sense. Because what's the point of just having Mike Evans on a bad team and just end his career like that on a bad team? I think Mike Evans deserves to not just finish with a good quarterback to put up great numbers, but he deserves to finish his career at top, like the way he's
Yeah.
done it for the last 9 seasons.
So they put out a few potential teams or trade destinations that kind of make sense. You have the Chiefs, you have the Jets, the Patriots, and the Lions. So I guess out of those 4 teams, bias aside, because I do think it would be a good fit in New England, where do you think he could go?
I apologize. Apologies there. Dale, realistically, maybe the Lions or the Chiefs, just because the Chiefs always seem to get somebody in the trade deadline. Last year Kadarius Toney. If they're able to get Mike Evans this season, I think it would be a huge
Oh my
game
God.
changers. I would love to say the Patriots, Dale, but come on now. You honestly think Bill Belichick is gonna send a draft pick and then pay the man? Not gonna happen. So realistically, I give either a shot to Kansas City or to the Lions, Dale, realistically. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's another team out there, maybe somebody like a surprise team that's, Buffalo, if just in case, or somebody in the NFC, like the Saints, who might, win the division, might need an extra wide receiver for the playoff run, depending on, who's in and who's out. So
Yeah.
I just see him going possibly Dale to like more of a contender than just any other team.
Yeah, a lot of people, what I've been reading is they want him to go to the Lions. They think that would be a good fit. Jared Goff is in the stages of getting a contract extension, and apparently he's on his, well, not apparently, he is on his last year on the 5-year deal he got back in 2018. Apparently he's seeking kind of like a Cooper Kupp thing, like a 3-year, $80 million deal. So I think he's worth it. I know he wants to say it's beautiful in Tampa, but I would like to see him with a quarterback and have an opportunity to win, because I think Mike Evans is good enough where he could take a team like maybe the Detroit Lions from a divisional or wild card spot, maybe to the NFC Championship game. He's that good.
Yeah,
So
to me, he's still a top 10 wide receiver. We spoke about it just last week on the futures. I still think he's 1,000-yard wide receiver. So
yeah.
I think with the right quarterback, right system, I think Mike Evans still could put up numbers this season and upcoming.
And we were talking about Cooper Kupp and the Rams just a few seconds ago, and Sean McVay came out and said there's a little setback Cooper Kupp suffered with his hamstring. They're considering him day to day. His status for week 1 against the Seahawks on the road is unknown. Is this another situation where you kind of just ease him back in? You don't really force Cooper Kupp back?
Still, when healthy, Cooper Kupp arguably is the best wide receiver in football. I'd take Devontae Adams over him. That's just me. But still, this is another situation. Why rush him back? He got injured last season, didn't finish the season. You saw what he was able to do in 2021 when he played 017. So why rush him back? I say give him an extra week just to be 110%. Because when he's healthy, he's one of the best in the league. I don't know why would he rush him back, get Cooper Kupp at 80, 90%, and just to risk further injury. To me, it's not worth it. Play it safe. Let him come back week 2, week 3.
Yeah, and it's not like they're playing for anything. No disrespect, but the Rams aren't fighting for a Super Bowl this year. So, and they got 3 really tough games out of the gate. You got Seahawks on the road at home against the 49ers, and then you're on the road in the jungle taking on the Bengals. So, tough schedule. So, yeah, I would agree. Don't rush him back, ease him back, because he is top 2 receivers in the league. Speaking of receivers, TJ Hawkinson, he's laughing to the bank. All-time tweet by Adam Schefter, by the way. Once he got paid, well, let me tell you about the deal. He reached a 4-year, $68.5 million extension. He resetted the tight end market. He's making about 17.1 annually per year. And he's the highest paid tight end in the league. It's him. Darren Waller makes 17. George Kittle's third. He makes 15. Travis Kelce, he's laughing because he's going to reset the market. He's making $14.3 million. Dallas Goedert makes 14.2, and Mark Andrews makes 14 million. But I think he deserves it. I think he is a top 5 tight end, TJ Hawkinson. I do think it's a little much, though. Do you?
Still, at the end, you you got to move the market forward. So do I like the signing by Minnesota? Yeah. But do I love the numbers? No. Do TJ Hawkinson deserve to be the highest paid tight end? Absolutely not. But is it a good thing that the deal got done for
Yeah.
moving the tight end position moving forward? Absolutely, deal. So I think in 2-3 years from now, I think this might be even a great deal for the Minnesota Vikings. Like you said, Travis Kelce might, bump this number up to like 2021. Maybe Mark Andrews bumps it to like 18, 19, because I think those guys are going to be due for contracts soon, and their agents going to be like, Hawkinson got this. I think Mark or Kittle or Kelsey deserve at least 18.5, 20. So
Yeah, at least.
I like it moving forward, Dill. I like the market just to keep going up for the players to get paid.
Yeah, and this whole summer, I guess, training camp and practice, he's been sidelined with an ear infection and some back pain. It kind of limited him in practice, but after he got paid, he was in full practice. And
I wonder why.
It was great. Adam Schefter tweeted after he tweeted out all the numbers and whatnot. He goes, TJ Hawkinson ear infection and back pain, which is why he was limited in practice this summer, is feeling much better today. All time tweet by Adam Schefter. But yeah, he's definitely feeling a lot better going to the bank. But no, credit to him. He definitely deserves it. But yeah, you're right. When George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and Mark Andrews, when they get paid, they'll reset the market again. But Elvis, that's all the news I really got in the NFL. So let's dive right into it. Got a big baseball slate, about 15 games on the board. Surprisingly, I only got one game. I had 4 last night. I went 3-1.
Dill,
scaling it back, kid.
I know you're scaling it back. I ain't mad at you, Dill. But for the people, I shouldn't be the one that's leading in MLB plays. Don't get me wrong. Now your boy's been hot, shockingly, for the last 2 weeks. I've been
That's
hot. I've been rolling 6-2 the last 7 now. But Dylan, you for the people. I'm the NBA guru. You got me making MLB plays now. You're supposed to be the master. You're supposed to be the diamond.
I can't force it, kid.
The D in Dylan stands for diamond.
Bro, I just can't do it. Like, I don't. Some of these teams like are fighting for playoff spots. Then you got teams that have given up. Like the Angels they lost to the Oakland Athletics. Like, some of them have checked out. I sometimes the best bet is no bet, and I can't be advising these people to take just anything just because I like it. And I don't know. I've had a good run in baseball this season, and I've scaled it back a lot ever since football and playoffs come. I'm not forcing anything. So yeah, I only got one play, and I'll start us off. I took the Mets yesterday. Kodai Senga plus 140 with Kodai Senga at home. I know it's the Mets, but he pitched a gem. 12 strikeouts, got the win. And now I'm going to fade the Mets. Give me the Seattle Mariners with Luis Castillo on the mound. Minus 130 is ridiculous. I think they got the much better pitcher. And I'm so happy the Mets won because now it's a perfect time to fade them. They're not going to win 2 in a row. They are actually, for all the shit I do talk about the Mets, they are actually above 500 at home. They do play well at home. But Seattle, I think they're going to bounce back. They're fighting for a division. They're in first place. They might fight for it. No, they will fight for it. And they got the best pitcher. I like their lineup. Give me the Seattle Mariners minus 130 on the money line. My only play of the day.
Dill.
I'll give leans. Like, whatever you got, I'll give leans.
Dill, I'm going to start it off. I'm going to just say this. This is my least favorite play of the day, people. This is my least favorite play of the day. But I think they're due. Tough loss yesterday, Dill. Let's go to Oakland, California, Dill. The Los Angeles Angels taking on the Oakland Athletics. Over under sitting at 8, Dill. You know I fuck with my boy Blackburn. You know how I feel about Blackburn. But Dill, give me the Angels on the road on the money line minus 125. Dill, I know you don't love it. And that's okay, Dill, because your boy been doing this thing. And guess what? The Angels are going to handle business today on the road. Losers 4 out of the last 5. I understand. They'll understand. But we're going to turn it around today. Angels, money line, early start. Dill, 4-6-10 start. Dill, let's head to Cleveland. Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Over under sitting at 8.5. Still, this line was a little confusing to me. I don't know if it's a trap game, but guess what? I don't care. Give me the Tampa Bay Rays money line. Caught it at minus 120, sitting at minus 116 right now. Could possibly say, did I change the line, people? I doubt it, but I'm going to say that. Moving along, Dill. Possibly one of the best games of the night, Dill. The Chicago Cubs taking on the Cincinnati Reds, Dill. Abbott let me down last week. He won't this week. Give me the Cincinnati Reds on the money line, Dill. Minus 104. I think they take care of business with Chicago. Chicago's been playing much better recently, especially in the summertime now. But we in September. Maybe they slash right back down. It ain't summertime no more, Dill. Give me the Reds on the money line at home, Dill. And my last play of the night, Dill. My favorite play of the night, Dill. The New York Yankees taking on the Houston Astros. Over on the state at 8.5. Still, ever since that man threw that no-hitter that day, Severino, he's been a complete fade since that night, Dill. And that's what we're going to keep doing. Give me the Houston Astros on the red line. Plus 110. Houston, let's go.
Wow. I don't like the Angels play at all. Just
I know. That's my least favorite play. That's my least favorite play.
I get it. They're a short favorite against arguably the worst team in the league. I get it. Everyone they traded for, they all waived. It's crazy. Like they're just literally punting on the organization. Shohei's not showing up. Mike Trout's hurt again.
Shocker.
It's just I hate the Angels so much. So I honestly, if I got like a plus 110, plus 115, I was gonna flirt with the Athletics again. Getting plus price with the Astros after losing last night. Verlander just can't beat the Yankees. Last two starts lost to the Yankees, and Yankees aren't the team to put up runs, but they've put up a lot of runs against Verlander ever since getting traded over there. So I like the bounce back spot. And yeah, Luis Severino is a complete fade. The Andrew Abbott, I do like him. Should be a good series. The one concern with me backing them was the Cubs have owned the Reds this season. I think they've won one game out of 7-8 times they've played each other. So that's what stood me off away. I do like the Rays with Zach Liddell on the mound. Logan Allen is good. I like all these bounce back situations because Guardians did win last night. Now they're hanging a minus 116, begging us to take the Rays. I don't know if it's a trap either, but if I were to side, that's probably my favorite play of yours. I do like the Rays, but I just couldn't get to the window with anything, man. Like I really was looking and trying to get more, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get to anything. So
I ain't mad at you. Yeah. I ain't mad. I put on the JanSport any time there. Come on now.
I just want to, be transparent, but it is good. Elvis, good luck on the diamond. Let's keep it rolling, kid. Before we get to college football, let me tell you guys about Viva Tequila, our provided sponsor today. The most refreshing hard seltzer on the market. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf or an elderberry watching Colorado beat TCU, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, E, let's get to it. College football is back. I love it. So far on the year, between last week, we had some games on Thursday. We had some games last night. I am 7-5. So
good way. Good way to start the season now.
Good way. We're up 2 units. Last night I hit on Stanford minus the 3, and then Louisville minus 7.5. I can't believe
you've seen that You seen Stanford trying to join the ACC?
No, they did.
They
Them,
did.
SMU, and
It was like 3
another.
schools. It was like 3
Yeah,
schools.
it's no more Pac-12. It's actually a shame, but
I
that's
don't
for
like
different.
it.
Yeah, no.
Watching 5 years from now, it's just gonna be an East and a West conference.
Yeah, and you know what it is too. I don't want to go on a tangent, but they're breaking over 100-year tradition. Like,
Bro, it's too much. It's too much money being involved right now.
I
So
know.
they look at it like, yo, we invested this much, we got to get this much in return instead of this.
Colby was on a few episodes ago, and he was saying how it's good short term, but long term, we don't think it's going to be good for the university. So we'll
No,
see.
I think it's gonna benefit the players and the students more than the universities. Absolutely,
Yeah.
long
So
term.
Elvis, we got about, I don't know, 100-something games going on today and tomorrow. I will let you lead it off, and if I got to play in the game, I'll just jump in. But what do you got? You lead us off.
Dill, I have 3 plays, so I'm gonna just start it off. Dill, and you just take over because I know you're fucking loaded. Dill, let's start with our state, Dill. Let me get Rutgers plus 6.5 at home. Dill, I can't find the play right now because in Jersey we can't.
Rutgers is minus 6.5.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Minus 6.5 at home. Dill, I'm laying it. I expect us to win by a touchdown or more. I just wanted to start there just because we can't bet it, so I wanted to get that out the way.
That's one of my plays as well. I never thought I'd be laying 6.5 with our boys, but I was in New York. I laid it. I got the number minus 110. It's still at 6.5 for anyone outside of New Jersey. But yeah, Greg Schiano got the boys fucking going. They're not gonna lose to Northwestern at home Sunday morning. Fuck yeah, I got Rutgers as well.
All right, bet, Dill. Let's start it off, Dill. Fresno State taking on the Boilermakers. Purdue, Dill. I caught a little juice. Right now they're at 3.5, minus 3.5, minus 4. Dill, I ended up taking the minus 3 at minus 125. Dill, give me the Boilermakers at home versus Fresno State minus 3 at minus 125. Dill, my last play of the day will be arguably probably the most watched game this afternoon. Dill, give me the Colorado Buffaloes with prime time on the sideline. Plus 21. Dill, I think prime, don't get me wrong, I would love him to pull out a win, but we all know, we could honestly agree, if this man goes out there and covers this point spread in week 1, that's a goal that is accomplishable, and I think he could do it. Give me Colorado plus 21. Dill, I'm not gonna say, oh, he's gonna go out there and upset him. Dill, that's a lot to ask for week 1, first game coming out the gate. But give me Colorado plus 21. Dill.
I love it. By the way, the Purdue game, I do like Purdue as well. I'll lay the 3.5 at home. That's one of my other plays. I actually like the under as well. I think it would be a low scoring game. Fresno State does have some good guys on defense. I think they're returning 7 or 8 starters. So like that. Yeah, I actually, I think they could cover. I took them plus 21. They're 20.5 right now. Yes, obviously TCU should be favored in this game, but 20 is so disrespectful. I know everyone's talking about the depth and, everyone in the portal, him bringing on his own guys, the question mark about his son. Is he a top 5, a power 5, quarterback? Yes, he is. Like, I think we're forgetting, like, they don't have depth, but they got players. They got the number 1 kid in the country, the number 1 recruit, prime recruited. So let's not forget, they got guys. I think they're live too. I'm going to sprinkle a little on the money line. Give me Colorado on the money line. Give me plus 21. I think they could shock the world. And that's going on in about an hour and a half. I fucking can't wait. So let's move along. Give me South Alabama. Plus 6 against Tulane. Tulane lost a lot. They lost their running back in the NFL draft. They're at home. But South Alabama is competing for this division now. So give me South Alabama plus 6. I think that's too many points. Give me the Red Raiders. Texas Tech -14 against the Cowboys. Wyoming. I did also -20.5 at +205. I think Texas Tech blows these fucking boys out. Give me West Virginia, the Mountaineers, +20.5. That's disrespectful. I know Penn State, everyone's picking them to be the sleeper of the Big Ten and get into the college playoffs. Fuck that. Give me West Virginia +20.5. I'll also take the over 49. Give me East Carolina +36 against Michigan. Michigan should win this game, but we've seen Michigan in the past, take his foot off the gas a little bit when he's blowing these teams out. Even if they're up 48-3, 48-6, fourth quarter, they're going to put some second stringers in. East Carolina's going to get a touchdown +36. Give me East Carolina. Give me Boise State +14 against Washington. Now, Washington has a great quarterback. I think he'll be a Heisman candidate, but 14 points against Boise. Boise has 8 returners on defense. I think they're going to be competitive, and I think they might be live dogs as well. Give me Houston on the money line at home against the Roadrunners, baby. UTSA on the money line. This is going to be a really good game. I think it might be actually one of the games of the week, like a sneaky good game. Should be a close one, but I like Houston at home, a low revenge factor. They lost last year. I think they take care of business today. +105 on the money line. Give me South Carolina. Shout out our man Joe in the chat. +2.5 and on the money line. Whatever happened to Spencer Rattler? This is his year, baby. Spencer Rattler, game day is in Charlotte, North Carolina, taking on UNC. I don't give a fuck who UNC has. South Carolina, Spencer Rattler's going to fucking sling the ball. Give me the over in the game, and also give me South Carolina upset in North Carolina. Give me the Ohio State -36 against Indiana, and give me the over as well, over 59. Ohio State is going to murder these boys. I'm sorry, I'm laying the 36. You got the best receiver in the country, Marvin Harrison Jr. He's probably going to score 4 touchdowns. So give me Ohio State laying the points, and also give me the over. What else I got? I'm looking. LSU. Best game on Sunday. LSU against Florida State should be a really good game. I love LSU. I took them on the money line -130. I'll also lay the 2 -110 as well. Brian Kelly, talk a lot of shit about him, but he is a good coach. I think he's the right man for the job there in Baton Rouge. So, Elvis, I got those are all my plays, kid. What do you think?
Dill, the last one, I'm gonna be honest, Dill. I like the South Carolina play, but I'm gonna be honest, though. I like Florida State at home. Florida State at home, Dill. It's gonna be jumping week 1. Gonna be wild.
I love it. Yes, sir. It's gonna be a wild one. And Joe, you talk about 2-a-days. 2-a-days. Let's go. 2-a-days. We'll finish it off with the 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. Last one, Elvis. We had a good run. And let's end it strong. Honestly, I was going to start with the 49ers, but let's just get the Arizona Cardinals out of the way. 180-1 to win the Super Bowl. 85-1 to win the NFC. By the way, both of those are last. They're also last to win the NFC West at 27-1. Their win total 4.5. Over is +110. Under -142 to make the playoffs. +980, not to make the playoffs, 22-1. I guess we'll start with their win total, 4.5. I'm sorry, I gotta go under E. Like, I think you could even alternate to like a 3.5. Like, this might be the worst team in the league, but not even close, like by a mile. Like, Kyle Murray is not in. Josh Dobbs is the quarterback for right now. The only Zach Ertz, he's questionable. He might not start week 1. He's dealing with an injury. Besides Marquise Brown and I guess Randall Moore, and Budda Baker said he wanted out as well in the offseason. Let's not forget that. Who do they really have? Like, they don't have anyone. They have a hard schedule, I would argue, as well. Honestly, Elvis, I counted 3 wins. And then I was trying to be generous, and I went back and I said, I can't even give them one more. Like, I just can't. So I got to go under here, kid. What do you got?
Dill. You know me, I try to be positive. They always try to look at things in the positive side of things. And with Arizona, I feel bad for any of our listeners out there. Let's just for all the Arizona Cardinal fans out there, you got Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, so you'll be all right. And Devin, you'll be all right. So, Dill, give me the under 4.5. give me under 4.5. That's just wild. And Dill, 2 plays. Give me exactly to win 4 games at plus 470. And then, I know it sucks, but Dill, give me to win exactly 3 games at plus 430, Dill. I counted 4. I counted 3. I think Kyler could go out there and win 3, especially in the back half still. It's going to be tough, but definitely 3. Sprinkle something on the 4, Dill.
And it's like, I gave him one. I split them between
real quick. I had him starting 0-6, and then I just gave him 1. I was like, they're not going to start 0-6. I made them 1-5. They could lose the first 6-7 games.
They could lose the first 9, 10 games.
I agree with you, cuz, but come on.
I know it's the NFL and anything could happen, but if they don't win week 6 on the road against the Rams, hopefully Kyler's back. And if he isn't back, they're not winning. They're not winning that game because Cooper Kupp's going to be back by then. And they just have more talent all around the Rams, and they have a better coach. If they don't win week 6, then they're on the road against Seattle. They're not going to win that. 0-7. Home against Baltimore. Baltimore is going to be really good this year. 8. Then on the road against Cleveland, another good team. Maybe they win at home against Atlanta, and I don't even think they're not favored in any game this season. They're underdogs in every game.
I threw them that win just because I was like, Kyler Murray going to be back. He should be able to put 20-something on that defense.
I gave him a win in week 11 on the road against C.J. Stroud and the Texans. I gave him one. I gave him. I split the one with the Rams, and then I gave him another one where it was like at home last week. If the Seattle Seahawks are resting players, I gave him a win there.
Yeah, I split against the Rams, against the Seahawks, that Carolina win. No, the Texans win, and then I threw them one the first, like you said, the first 8 weeks of the season. I was like, bro, they're not about to start 0-6, 0-7, and 0-8. They're gonna win one of those games.
One thing, Joe, the one issue, I like James Conner. Don't get me wrong. He's a very reliable and tough running back. They have the 29th ranked offensive line. They don't have anyone good. Yeah, they drafted my boy Parrish Johnson Jr. from Ohio State, but he's a rookie. He's up there with all bums. They're all bums.
And Joey, at the end of the day, how do you expect James Conner to be effective if they're playing from behind?
Behind, exactly. They're going to be playing from behind. And I don't think they're going to win. They're 7-point underdogs in week 1 against the Commanders. This is the first time the Redskins. This is the first time the Redskins have sold out FedEx Field in years. New ownership. There's a new energy around the DMV. And Sam Howell is sneaky good. How are they going to stop him? Terry McLaurin, Josh Dotson, everyone's high on him. They're not going to win. I'm sorry. I love you, Joe, but I don't think they could beat the Washington Redskins. What about you? I don't want to go. We'll have our preview next week, but
I feel like this. Still, with Kyler Murray healthy, I give him a shot. I don't think they'll be able to pull it out, but would it shock me if the Cardinals are plus 1.5, 2 points at home? No. So I just would I put money on them to win the game? No. But would it shock me if they win the game? No.
Wow, so you're that down on the Redskins?
No, I'm not that down on the Redskins, though. It's just I give the Cardinals a shot against a lot of teams with a healthy Kyler Murray. A shot. I give him a shot.
But week one, he's not going to be there.
Oh no! Week 1, they're losing the game. Yeah. I'm just saying against
against any. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
With Kyler Murray, they're not the worst. They're not the worst team in the NFL. With Kyler Murray, I don't got them going 3 wins, 4 wins. With Kyler, they'll at least get to 6.
Yeah, I think you and I made the argument. he'll win games by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the thing. He's gonna
talented
like
enough.
that game against Buffalo. They had no chance of winning, but he threw a perfect pass.
Yeah, with Kyler Murray, they're not the worst team. It'd probably be the Colts or maybe the Texans. Still bottom 5, but with Kyler Murray, they're not the worst. Kyler Murray's a top 10 quarterback. He just doesn't study, but that's neither here nor there. And no one really, we can't take any advantage of any player props besides, like Joey mentioned, James Conner. We'll start there. Rushing yards, 700.5. His rushing touchdowns, 6.5. What do you like here?
Still, I like both. Give me over 725.5 rushing yards, and also give me over 6.5 touchdowns. Still, James Conner's hit over this mark in both seasons as a Cardinal. Still, so James Conner, I remember he had that one crazy season in Pittsburgh where he had like I think 14 or like 18 touchdowns, something like that. So, still, James Conner always been a touchdown. He always been rushing for touchdowns. I would say kind of a touchdown machine at some point still, but he exceeded this number. I think he went 8 and then I think 10 in Arizona back-to-back seasons. So I expect him to at least be around that number as well. I expect him to get over the 6.5, maybe around 8 again, maybe 9, maybe 10. It's just if he's healthy, he's a double-digit touchdown machine.
Yeah, so last year he had 7 touchdowns, and then his first years he had 15. It was the most he's ever had in his career. He did have 1 year in Pittsburgh, his second year where he only actually played 13 games, and he had 12 touchdowns. So another big year. I like his over rushing yards way more than his rushing touchdowns. 700. He's gone over this number in 3 straight, 4 out of his 6 years. That 2018 year was his best year. He only played 13 games. He rushed for almost 1,000 yards, 973 yards. But last year in Pittsburgh, he rushed for 721 yards. He's over 700 rushing easy. Even with that bad offensive line.
Even if he plays 14 games, give me the over.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, Joe, we decided I think it was like last month, we decided
when we did their futures, it was like late July, early August.
We were like, yeah, no more Commanders. Enough of this bullshit. They're the Redskins. So if anyone refers to them as the Commanders, I always say, who are the Commanders? I always say Redskins now. So anyway, but yeah, I agree. I think 700 is very short. Minus 112 is a good number as well. So I'm over on James Conner. Now let's actually talk about a winning team. 49ers to win the Super Bowl, 10-1 to win the NFC, plus 400, second best odds behind the Eagles. To win the NFC West, they have the best odds, minus 165. Win totals at 10.5, minus 162 to the over, plus 132 to make the playoffs. It's minus like 300-400. Yeah, I'll start. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll win the division and give me the over. But I'm going to pull an Elvis to win exactly 11 games at plus 500 and to win exactly 12 games at plus 500. There's no way this team doesn't go over their win total. They're favored in 15 of the 17 games, and all of their tough games, Elvis, are at home. Let me get it up right now, the schedule for you. So they're tough games, I would argue, at home. Cowboys at home. Bengals at home. Baltimore Ravens at home. The only tough game they go on the road, I would argue, Philadelphia and Jacksonville. But other than that, all of the games are at home, and they have the 5th easiest schedule in the league. They're favored in all 6 of their divisional games. And let's not forget, last year when they traded for Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers went on to win 10 straight games in 2 playoff wins. So the only games they lost with McCaffrey is the first week they got him when they played the Chiefs. They lost that game. And then the NFC Championship when they were essentially playing with no quarterback. They were all hurt. So they went 4-1 against winning teams. The only loss was to the Chiefs that week that they traded for him. So too much talent on both sides of the ball. They have a top 5 head coach, in my opinion. I think this team is head and shoulders above anyone else. The only real question mark I have is the quarterback. But other than that, They're ranked. They have the 14th ranked offensive line. They have the number 1 running back room. They're ranked 3rd in the receiving depth with Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, George Kittle. Their front 7 is ranked the best. Their secondary is a top 10 secondary. So there's just so much talent on this team. They're built to win now. I gotta go over, kid. Or exactly 11 and exactly 12 wins.
Still, I like that, by the way. I always like getting that extra juice when it's worth it, Dill. I'm with you, Dill. I like the over, but I love they win exactly 11 games, a little more at plus 500. Just because, Dill, I counted, you know me, I always count at least 2-3 times. I counted 12, but I counted 11 twice, Dill. I think it's going to be some tough games. Like you said, they're all at home. But they have a pretty tough schedule, Dill. So I think 11-5 is a successful season. So I think they finish with 11 wins. Would it shock me to get to 12? No. If you want to sprinkle both, by all means, Dylan said it. Sprinkle on 12, sprinkle on 11 at plus 500. Over 10.5, I think is a lock. Dill, give me to win the division and exactly 11. Those are my 2 favorites.
My one issue with the 49ers is they're injury prone.
Yeah.
So I'll start in 2017. We'll go back to give you a little sample size. In 2017, they were the 10th most injured team. 2018, they were the 4th most injured team. 2019, 6th most injured team. 2020, they were the most injured team. 2021, they were the 3rd most injured team. And last year, they were the 8th ranked most injured team. It's getting to a point where you kind of wonder to yourself, are things ever going to change? Like, if they don't get hurt, they have the ability to win it all, but they're never on the field all at the same time. And that's why I can't pick them to win the Super Bowl. I think if healthy, they could. But I don't think, I'm not trying to be negative, but I just don't. It's like Tua. I think he's going to get hurt. History has shown me he's going to get hurt. I just read off for the last 5 years, they get hurt frequently. And not just one player, most players. Their offensive line, their running back position. Debo misses sometimes. Quarterback. It's always something with this team. But if they do figure it out and they stay healthy, watch out, because I do think they're the most deep team.
No, absolutely, Dill. This team, if healthy, secondary elite. To me, Fred Warner is arguably the best linebacker in football. He is
the best, yeah.
You got Bosa. Front line is crazy. And then you honestly might have the best tackle in football as well. So, Dill, this team is so deep from top to bottom. It's just, can they be healthy throughout the season, and especially come playoff time? Because like you said, Dill, if Brock Purdy's in that game, hey, maybe the 49ers are in the Super Bowl. Hey, maybe the 49ers win the Super Bowl. Who knows? But, Dill, I like this 49ers team a lot, Dill. It's just, I agree with you. Can they stay healthy? All starters. Not if 1 or 2 are down, okay. But we can't have 20% of the starters out. That just can't happen.
No, and you're gonna lose then. So I need a pick. I need your NFC prediction. I got your AFC. What's it looking like on the other side?
Dill, this one was tough just because I have a feeling about one team. And I feel like this is their year to finally reach the NFC Championship game in our lifetime. Dill,
oh no. I know what you're gonna say already.
I ain't gonna say it though. I'm gonna go with a rematch still. Give me the 49ers and the Eagles, NFC Championship game, but this time I think it's gonna be 49ers at home. I think the Eagles be the 2nd seed, 49ers the 1st seed, and I think the 49ers and Eagles face off in the NFC Championship game rematch of the 2022 NFC Championship game.
And then you have the Ravens against the Chiefs. Correct? Yeah. So I got the Browns and the Chiefs, and I got the 49ers. How about them Cowboys? Give me the Cowboys. I know you were, and I'm doing it. Give me the Cowboys because I do believe that they can make a run. They have the talent. I worry about Mike McCarthy. Can he get out of his own way? He worries me. He says he wants to run the ball. You can't do that with this fucking offense. You can't do it with all the talent that they have. Let him loose. Dak worries me a little. I think he will see some positive regression from the turnover perspective. I know I joke and I always say he'll lead the league in interception, but I do think he'll dial it back a little bit. And when we were talking about the Phillies preview with Adam, I did say they're going to regress a little bit. Like they had an amazing season last season. I think we're going to see a little regression out of the Eagles. And if Stephen A's listening, it's going to pain him. But what could go wrong will go wrong. But I think it's their time. I think the Cowboys have the depth. I was almost close to taking the Lions. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking about taking the Lions. But
put it like this, still. I like your pick still just because I do give the Cowboys a shot. I was this close to picking the Cowboys just because I like when I did it, Dill, I was like, can the Cowboys finally beat Kyle Shanahan and those damn 49ers? It's been years. And I was like, you know what? This year might be the year. But I couldn't go that far, though. I couldn't go that far. Hopefully you're right. I would love for you to be right. I almost had it. I had to erase it. I had to delete it. I was like, nah, it's going to be 49ers Eagles.
But they could only go so far. Give me the 49ers to reach the Super Bowl against the Browns. It's going to be the Browns and the 49ers in my Super Bowl. And for my pick, give me the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson's going to come back and laugh in everyone's face. He just got voted team captain. He's my captain too. That's my captain, too. Give me Deshaun Watson in the Cleveland Browns and that stupid elf that they got in the middle of the field. They're going to be a parade on Lake Erie, baby. Give me the Browns to win the Super Bowl. What do you got?
Still, I got the Baltimore Ravens beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Still. And then I got the 49ers beating the Philadelphia Eagles to reach the Super Bowl, Bill. With that being said, give me the Baltimore Ravens to win the NFL Super Bowl, Dill. I think Lamar Jackson and his team is going to prove to everybody. Remember, Dill, Lamar was hit the open market, and how many teams went out there and said, we're not interested? We're not interested. Atlanta's owner came out on the news and said, we're not interested. Dill, one, I think that was disrespectful. Mm-hmm. Two, this team was a few plays away from beating the Cincinnati Bengals with Tyler Huntley at quarterback last season. That was a close game, people. Let's not forget. Dill, I think the addition of Roquan Smith is going to make wonders.
Yep.
I think that defense is going to be a top 5 defense this year. I think with their offense, with Odell, Zay Jones, Bateman, Mark Andrews, healthy
Zay
Lamar, Zay Flowers, Dill, that's going to be a top 5 passing offense, top 5 running offense. Wow. Dill, give me the Baltimore Ravens over the 49ers in this year's Super Bowl.
In a shootout.
I
love it. We both got two AFC.
Plus 1,800, by the way. Ravens to win the Super Bowl.
For me, I think the Browns, let me get it, 30-1 to win the Super Bowl. So little better odds or bad odds, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, it's the Super Bowl is at Allegiant Stadium this season. And we both got AFC North teams winning. Is that the best division?
In my opinion, though, it might be just because I feel like it might be 3 playoff teams, possibly even 4. You got Cleveland, I got Bengals winning the division, and then you see me picking the Baltimore to win the Super Bowl. So,
yeah, I think there's a chance that all 4 get in because I'm high on the Steelers. I think Kenny Pickett.
I doubt it. Like I said, I'll give them a shot, though.
But it wouldn't surprise you.
Dill, if all 4 teams from the North make it, that means your Jets would not make the playoffs.
No, they're making it because they're winning the division.
This guy.
Come on. So, by the way, we never talked about props for 49ers. I was getting sidetracked. We'll start when there's no quarterback props for Brock Purdy. Disrespect. But we'll start with CMC, best running back in the league. His rushing yards, 850.5, minus 112 both ways. His rushing touchdowns is at 6.5, minus 130 to the over, plus 102 towards the under. What do you like for CMC?
Dill, I drafted this man 3rd overall in my draft recently, Dill. I gotta take them both over. Hopefully he's healthy all season long. If CMC is healthy, all draft bias aside, people, if CMC is healthy, he will be in contention to lead the league in rushing. He will be one of the top touchdown scorers in football if he plays all 17 games, Dill. So this number, I think the number is correct just because, would it shock me if CMC misses 3 to 4 games? Absolutely not, Dill. But could he still go over this mark just playing 14 games? Absolutely, Dill. So give me CMC over 850.5 rushing and over 6.5 rushing touchdowns as well, Dill. I think in the goal line at the end of the day, it's still going to be a run-first team no matter what. At the end of the day, it's still Kyle Shanahan offense, West Coast offense. So it's going to be a run-first, pass-second type of offense. So give me CMC over 850.5 and over 6.5.
Yeah, I agree. If CMC could stay healthy, he's a 1,000-yard rusher. Look what he did when he was in Carolina 2018, 2019. He rushed for 1,100 and he rushed for 1,300 in back-to-back years. So I think if he could stay healthy and he could play maybe 15, 16 games, hopefully 17, I think he's a 1,000-yard rusher. So I'm definitely going to go over the 850. The 6.5 touchdowns, I would stay away from. He hasn't got that until he's only got it twice, and it was in those 2 years that I just mentioned. In 2018 he had 7 and just went over it, and then in 2019 he had 15. But other than that 2, 5, 1, 2, 5. But granted, he was injured in a lot of those seasons, but when healthy, he's the best. I'll go over his rushing yards and I'll stay away from his rushing touchdowns. Let's go to Deebo Samuel. His receiving yards, 750.5, minus 122 towards the over, minus 106 to the under. His receptions, 59.5, minus 112 both ways. And his receiving touchdowns, 4.5, plus 102 towards the over, minus 130 towards the under. What's your favorite Deebo Samuel prop?
Dill, it's got to be the receiving yards, over 750.5, Dill. I kind of was looking for his rushing prop as well, Dill. We know Deebo Samuel's going to get probably over 20, 30 touches just from the backfield, Dill. So, Dill, I like his over receiving and his rushing. If you can find his rushing prop, people, go ahead, look for it. Because Deebo's open field, Deebo is one of the hardest people to tackle in the NFL. So give me Deebo over 750.5 receiving yards. I think this number is too short, but he has missed a couple games in recent years, so I understand why the number is so short.
Yeah, he has missed time. In 2020, he only played 7 games. His rookie season in 2019, he missed 2 games. Last season, he missed 4 games. Yeah, I agree. I like his over. It does worry me because he does get a lot of rushing yards as well. He got 59 carries in 2021. He had 42 last season. He's a gadget guy, but I do think he's big enough, and his yards after catch, like in the open field, if he catches a slant, you're not catching this man. So yeah, I like his over 750.5 receiving yards. Receptions, I stayed away, and I also stayed away from his touchdowns. He's only gone over his touchdowns once. It's at plus money for a reason. I know it's low at 4.5, but he's only gotten over that one time. It was in 2021. Other than that, he had 2 touchdowns last season. Actually, he scores more rushing touchdowns than he does receiving touchdowns. So, yeah, I would stay away from that, but I do like his receiving yards over. George Kittle. His receiving yards, 675.5, minus 112 both ways. His receptions, 56.5, minus 112 both ways. And his receiving touchdowns at 5.5 at plus 104 towards the over, minus 130 towards the under. What's your favorite George Kittle prop?
Dill, out of the three, Dill, I end up staying away, Dill, but out of the three, my favorite is the touchdowns. Just because, when Brock Purdy became the starter, Dill, he didn't really look towards George Kittle way, mostly just in the red zone, Dill. He ended up getting a lot of touchdowns in the back half and in the playoffs, Dill. Just wasn't getting a ton of yards, so that kind of worried me a little bit. Maybe they build a newer connection this season. I don't know, but I'm just going by what I saw the last 10 weeks of the season last year, Dill, and Kittle wasn't a featured, target in that offense. It was more Ayuk, more Debo, more CMC in that nature. So, and let's not forget, George Kittle is one of the best tight end pass blockers in all the games. So we got to get him respect there. But I'll lean the over 5.5 touchdowns. Though I think out of all his props, I think that's my favorite one.
Yeah, I like everything. I'll go over everything. 675.5 is disrespectful for a top five. And like you said, the connection that him and Brock Purdy have, you could tell Brock Purdy feels comfortable throwing him the ball. He's gone over this in 1, 2, 3, and 4 of his last 5 years. In 2020, he didn't go over, but in 8 games, he caught 635 receiving yards. In 8 games. Again, this is another guy that misses some time. Last year, he missed 2 games. 2021, he missed 2 games. He missed half the season in 2020. 2019, he missed 4 games. His rookie season, he missed 2 games. So it worries me, the injuries aspect, but regardless, I still think he's more around an 800, maybe 750, 800 type receiving yards. Let's not forget, he put up back-to-back 1,000-yard years in 2018 and 2019. So I think he could do it again. His receptions at 56.5. That seems low. He's gone over that in 4 of his 6 years in the league. And you're right. The touchdowns, especially at plus money, I got to hammer the over. He's gone over this in 2 straight. Love the connection there. By the way, want to get your thoughts on Brandon Ayuk. The only thing I could find was his receiving touchdowns at 5.5. Plus 104 towards the over, minus 130 toward the under. A lot of mouths to feed on this offense. What do you think about Brandon Ayuk?
Dill, you know how I feel about Brandon Ayuk. Give me the over 5.5 touchdowns. I think the number is too short. In his career, his 3 seasons, Dill, his bottom number was 5. Last year he had 8. I think he regresses a little bit, but I don't think he drops under 5. So I think he goes anywhere from 6, maybe even 8 again. Hey, maybe he increases it to 9, Dill. Maybe. Brandon Ayuk is, to me, he's one of the best number 2 options in the NFL. He stays healthy. Him and Brock Purdy have a great connection somehow, Dill. I like everything. Last year he had 78 receptions. I like his over reception as well. It wasn't available. I don't know. Shop around, people. This man, in 3 seasons, he went for 748. The year before that, 826, and last season 1,000 yards. I expect this man to be way over 800 and over his touchdowns receiving, Dill. So give me Brandon Ayuk to have another big season. Give me his over 5.5 touchdowns. And people, if you could search up or find his receiving or receptions, hammer it. His rookie year, 60 receptions. Second year, 56. Last year, 78. I expect him to be anywhere from 65 to 80. This year.
And Elvis, let's not forget his rookie season, he only played 12 games, so he missed at least 4 or 5 games. So I agree. I think you're also right. He's probably the best second, I guess, wide receiver number 2 option in the NFL. He would be a number 1 in a lot of places.
A lot of places.
Yeah, I gotta go over. I mean, he's close to 1,000. He's actually, I would argue, he's the best pure receiver on the team. Like, yeah,
I wouldn't disagree. I'm not going to disagree with that, just because Debo brings so much to the table, so they could utilize in different ways. But yeah, you could say he's the wide receiver 1, and then Debo's R1, RB2. Something like that. Just because Debo gets, think about it, he got almost 60 touches from the backfield last year.
No, yeah, it's insane, to be honest. But yeah, no, I agree. I'm just trying to look real quick, like on other books to see, but I can't find Brandon Ayuk anywhere. But they don't want us to hammer the over. That's the problem. They're scared. But yeah, and this is a guy, like I said, he did miss 4 games his rookie year, but back-to-back seasons, he had, knock on wood if you're with me, but he hasn't gotten hurt. 17 games played in both his 2021 and 2022. He's going to catch 60, 65 balls for 900, close to 1,000 yards, and I think he has another 7 to 8 touchdowns. So, yeah, I agree. I'm all over Brandon Ayuk. I also think he's a great fantasy pickup too. But, yeah, boys, that's going to do it. Elvis, any last words?
I have a few more plays, people, for the 49ers.
Mm.
Give me Bosa. Over 14.5 sacks at -102. The only thing that concerns me is the injury bug. If Bosa plays at least 15 games, I think he goes over this mark. I think Bosa could honestly average a touchdown a game. If not, a sack and a half a game. I think he's that dangerous. When healthy, he's one of the best defensive linemen in all of football. So give me Nick Bosa over 14.5 sacks. And Dill, this is one of my favorite props, Dill. Give me most rushing yards in the division. CMC at +270. Walker the fourth is the favorite at +210 to lead the division in rushing yards. Exactly, Dill. Give me CMC +270 to lead the NFC West in rushing yards.
What was Nick Bosa's sack number at?
14.5.
Oh, yeah, you got to hammer the over.
Come on now.
He had 18.5 last season. In 2021, he had 15.5.
And he missed like 4 games.
Yeah. And 2020 is a scrap year. He only played 1 game. He got hurt for the whole year. And then in his rookie season, he had 9 sacks, but he's not the same as a rookie. So he's the best player. Apparently, the contract extensions have been going good. They expect him to be on the field for week 1. So he's going to get all over them in week 1. So I love that. By the way, yeah, Nick Bosa over 15.5 sacks for me as well, or 14.5. But Elvis, any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
No, that's all, though. It's just, this is the last episode we're going to do without talking about an NFL football game for the
last 6 months.
So, people, let's just end the show. So next time we on here, we're talking football.
Let's fucking go. By the way, scheduling program change every Wednesday. We'll talk about Thursday night games. We'll have our regular show on Saturday at 10 a.m. for the Sunday slate. And then Sunday night, instead of doing Monday, we're going to get out the game for Monday Night Football a little early. We'll recap on Sunday night right before Sunday Night Football. We'll have some plays there and any plays that we like for Monday. So we're going 3 times a week for the remaining of for the next 6 months. But yeah, best time of the year, Elvis. Thank you. That's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of Viva, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. Follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. On YouTube, like I said, every Sunday, Saturday, and Wednesday. Got to get used to that. YouTube.com/The Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Good luck on your wagers. Have a good weekend. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.